Hello, hi. It's Saikido here, and I'm about to open your eyes. Your eyes. I'm about to open your eyes with regards to the New York session. One of the easiest ways to trade the New York session. So in the morning, obviously, we caught a buy here, or rather, I shared um on X. I'm yet to share it on Instagram on how there was a good setup for this London Open. So now I'm about to share a nice breakdown of how you can catch such movements during New York, especially when you're trading gold. So this is a series of gold. I'm gonna make like a series of how to use gold to make passive income because gold is pretty much clear and straight to the point, right? So I'm gonna focus firstly on. Oh, so here was the analysis from the morning. So obviously I want us to focus first on this 4 hour. So 4 hour pretty much gives you like a directional bias for the day or at least for the week. If you zoom out on 4 hour, you pretty much see everything. So here you can see that we displaced lower, we hit a bullish order block here and rejected. Look at the wick and the body, we rejected off of that wick and we filled this BC right here. And then after that, we printed a pretty much bullish candle closing above. So we displaced above the swing highs and we closed way above there. And then we created a BC with this following candle. And then today during the Asian session, okay, I'm going to show you here. So this was the Asian session. We pretty much accumulated and then we manipulated. We went above to take out this buy side liquidity here, took out the Asian high, and then we printed a bearish market structure shift. I was actually waiting for a drop inside here. Look at the bodies here. Even though we went above the Asian session, but this is what I was waiting for because I was bullish, you know. After this, let's go back to the screenshot. I was just waiting for a bullish setup as soon as I saw this displacement higher. So this as a draw on liquidity and that buy side liquidity right there together with that swing high right up there, okay, on gold. Okay, so I was waiting for a drop inside the BC, a deep drop inside the BC. So I was eyeing at the CE, the consequent encroachment of that BC, which was the 0.5, and then also the lower quadrants, which was 0.75 going all the way down. So I wanted to see a good reaction during the kill zone off of those discount arrays. So it's the BCCE 0.75 and then the order block here. So I wanted to see a reaction off of those levels. And of course, this is the reaction I got once it reached that 0.75 for our BC lower quadrant, right? And then from that, we saw a bullish market. I mean, we broke above this high with displacement, okay? And then we printed two fair value gaps. This is the most important thing here. If you have two fair value gaps with displacement candles like this, the lower fair value gap must not be traded back into. It is called a breakaway gap. So you use the first fair value gap and for an as an entry. But also there will be concluded after you see this candle close, right? On retracement, you use the first fair value gap. This one should be a breakaway gap, especially if it's reacting off of a PD array, okay? And then you use your stop loss must be below the midpoint of the lower fair value gap, so that in case it manipulates and chooses to enter the fair value gap, it must at least do an institutional order flow entry drill whereby the price will just partially enter the fair value gap. It must not reach for the center, the midpoint of which is the consequent encroachment of that fair value gap. Okay, it could be a BC, it could be a CB. So that's why I'm saying fair value gap. So and then you use the first fair value gap, put your stop loss just below the midpoint, exactly how I showed you here. And then you are obviously, if you are bullish, because you've now a discount, you can start by targeting the Asian highs. I mean the Asian highs, or the high that was created prior London Open, just in between London Open. I think this high was created pretty much around 2. which was the London high at that time. So this is the high I was targeting, a high that was created somewhere here, this high. That was a high. This was obviously on 1 minute. Excuse me. And also, there's another important thing you can take from the daily chart. We actually made an immediate rebalance with that one, with that candle right there. So we dropped and we made immediate rebalance. The immediate rebalance was also confluencing with the 0.75, okay? The 0.75. Okay, so there was a strong thing. That's why we had this breakaway gap here. Because once we priced to that level, there was a sweet spot during the kill zone, then we priced higher. So that was a good London silver bullet trade. Okay. So now I want to show you what happened the during the so okay, we went all the way up, we took out that high right there, okay, and then after during the opening of the London, during New York Open, sorry, New York Open, if you are bullish and you believe that the drawn liquidity is that high, you are still bullish, you've already seen your accumulation. You've seen your accumulation, so you are waiting for the second distribution during New York, right? Because we're already bullish, man. So we're already bullish. Okay, let's put this. So this is accumulation, and this is going to be manipulation, of course. Let me just start here. So anything below the low here, this was manipulation lower, and you know where it was going, right? It was manipulation. Look at the candle close, the wick. The bodies are telling you a story still that we are bullish, right? Where is the drawn liquidity? You have a high right there. You have also a swing high right there. The swing high is buy side liquidity there, buy side liquidity right there. Already here you are bullish. So New York session, you are looking for buys again. But we now have a range. This range here is the same as this range here. It's the same range here. So before we go, who's been making money all day long? The buyers, right? So you need to take those guys out, hit the trailing stops, and then we continue with the move. But also you need to have like an idea of where this thing is going to turn before we go all the way up, because we still have buy side liquidity right there. So this is when you okay, so I'm just going to use like a pink for manipulation, and then this is the first stage. We distributed here all the way up. From here we go all the way up. Okay, let's use like let's use yellow. So this is distribution. Let me just call this manipulation. Okay, this is distribution, the first phase. So this is what you do. Like during London, the New York should retrace to the OTE of this dealing range here, of whatever price, whatever dealing range you London gave. It could be from here to here, could be from here to just above the high, somewhere here. But during New York, 7 to 11, right? You just do this here. You just measure whatever range London gave you, and then you open your midpoint. You want to see sell side any PDRA below the equilibrium. Okay, any sell side or PDRA below equilibrium. But more importantly, you must also have your OTE level. So I'm just going to move this thing to the side so you can see I have 0.62 and 0.75. That is the sweet spot. Look at that. And it was also confluencing with the midnight open, right? So you wait for a retracement, especially after 8:30. So this is what I do. I just put my 8:30 and I want to see take sell side liquidity after 8:30 if I'm bullish. So this is what I will do. I'll just have like 8:30 because I know 8:30 we have news most of the time. So the news drivers will yes. So this is what I do now. I look at 8:30. Okay, that's my 8:30 right there. I'm now gonna remove this for this is for New York Open, right? Let's use the bold color for New York Open. So I have 8:30 and I just highlight my sell side liquidity prior 8:30. So I have sell side liquidity here. This is the most recent one, okay? So that's the first sell side liquidity I wanna see this thing take. And then I just highlight my equilibrium and anything below equilibrium. So I had this fair value gap here. But more importantly, I have OTE levels, right? So the OTE levels, right? So I want to study how price reacts on a smaller time frame once we reach this point. So I have an order block here. I also have this BC below equilibrium. And also more importantly, I have this range here, which is the OTE range, right? So this is how you trade New York as an OTE of London, whatever London was doing. So you just measure the range of London. Then on retracement, because we are targeting sell stops, you just look at, okay, is it what you can use this as an entry, put your buy and your stop loss, like literally you can just people do this here. This is someone else's entry. Oh, sorry guys, so this thing had stopped recording. I was actually done with the class. I was about to just say stop recording, and then it had already stopped recording for like it stopped like 5 minutes ago. So I need to add another 5 minutes. I need hopefully I will mention everything I had mentioned. But it's now boring. But okay. So basically, I think it stopped where I was talking about that you can also use the OTE levels as your entry. It's someone else model because I just watched the video. You can simply just buy and put your stop loss below the 0.75. You can target the high that was created here. Or if you want to go all the way up, you can then go all the way up to buy side liquidity right there because we're now above that. And that gives you quite a significant ratio, 6.63. That's good. That's good. Good. It's amazing. But for me, I want to study how price behaves on a smaller time frame, like 1 minute. Once we hit those specific PD arrays, okay? So we hit the OTE retracement level. Now I want to zoom in, okay? On 1 minute, I also see that we took sell side liquidity right there. That's sell side liquidity just below the OTE level. And then I want to see how price behaves. I'm waiting for that displacement on 1 minute, and that's exactly what happened here. So now we are printing a bullish market structure shift, completely displacing and closing above the swing high, the recent swing high. This is the high of the low that took out sell side liquidity here, and that hit the OTE retracement level, which is 0.62. And then this now qualifies to be called a bullish market structure shift, you know. Another thing, some people call it a bias flip because you can see that we've been breaking the lows, going all the way down, respecting the highs, but now we are violating the high and it displays above it, okay? So on retracement, I want to see because this is quite a huge fair value gap for me to go long on. I need to understand, okay, could it go all the way down? So as soon as I see this displacement, I want to extend this one because this is now it forms a portion of this CB is overlapping with this one, so it forms a balanced price range. So I want to take the low and then I want to take the high of this one. So I just shape this is a strong this is a resistance level, okay? So I'm not anticipating price to reach lower to this now becomes my breakaway gap, specifically this range here. So if I want to go long, I can just buy the open and put my stop loss. I'm in the high of this BC here and put my stop loss just below the midpoint of this one because I have also a breaker in my line of defense just above my entry. So also I want to see because this thing could just use the CE of this gap as an entry. Okay, let me remove the retracement level so that you guys don't get confused. You see this is not buying and selling pressure, folks. This is the secret to this game. That's how you catch those pinpoint entries. Look at the CE, but I was obviously gonna buy not the CE of this one. I was just gonna buy the high of this fair value gap and obviously put my stop loss just below the midpoint here for safety purposes, just below the low of this breaker. That's another confluence, and then obviously target the high, not this high, because I know we are going to completely displaced above it. I'm targeting this high up here. So I'm going all the way up right there, okay? Not here, all the way up right there, right there. Now I'm in line with this bias. Okay, I mean this buy side liquidity. And I was gonna hit quite a significant ratio. 4.86, that's a good fucking ratio. So if I'm risking 1,000 USD, I'm up 4.8 basically, almost 4.9, almost 5K. So especially for prop firm guys, yeah, this is a good model. But obviously if you hit the CE, you get quite a bigger range, But this is how you trade New York as a London OTE, right? This is a good module. Some people only trade this in AMD. They wait, they simply wait. They don't trade the London, they don't trade, they just trade only this pattern. I'm not a pattern trader. I want to study the markets daily. What is it giving me? So that's why I sit, prior to the kill zone. I just sit, I want to study this because I also get an entry right there going down, take my profits going up, New York going up. I can do that because I know when it's manipulating. I know. I know when it's breaking lower to give me entries to the downside. I know. I know all of this. So I'm just giving you I'm telling you the secret. These are the secrets of this game. This is how the algorithm looks. Okay. Also, you pay attention to the 1 hour, 4 hour wicks. Because once you see a rejection on 4 hour, you can then, anticipate, these movements, such movements, they give you a confirmation. You understand? And if Asia is an accumulation, you focus on London. London will be manipulation. It can manipulate with the, like 2 pips, 3 pips, and then if you understand the narrative, and if there's no gaps such as this one here, then you won't have this. It'll just manipulate like go up, like you see the range from okay up here to that. It can be a manipulation of London, and London can start to distribute lower. The New York retracement OTE, boom, all the way down. You understand? So that's what I'm giving you today. I always wanted to record and have a session where I'm gonna be showing this in action, and today I finally got a chance. I hope you guys find this useful and exciting, and I hope this feeds your family one day. Yeah, cheers guys. I hope this was insightful, and please leave a like button and subscribe to the channel. Share the content to your friends and whoever. Let's make the channel big because I want to share quite some things on this channel, so make sure you're subscribed. Okay, if you like this content, leave a like, leave a comment. I'll appreciate that. Thank you.